Hello, good morning, or good evening. Whenever you are watching this, I hope you are doing well. My name is Katherine, and Happy New Year! We are done with 2020. We are finally in 2021. I am so excited to be getting into my 2021 reading year. I've set my Goodreads goal to 75, which is the same as last year. 2020, I did read 141 books, which is insane. I honestly don't anticipate reading that many books in 2021, only because I am really hopeful that I'll be able to go back to work and I'll be slightly busier. So I want to give myself a realistic reading goal, which is 75. I've been able to hit 75 in the past while working full time. And that way, if I surpass that goal and do get over 100 books again, I'll just be pleasantly surprised. It'll be nice. Today I am going to be talking about my January TBR. I have lots of fun plans for the month of January, which I'm very excited about. First and foremost, I am going to be reading Shadow and Bone and Siege and Storm by Leigh Bardugo as part of the Grishaverse Readalong. I am so excited that I am one of the hosts for the Grishaverse Readalong. I have teamed up with so many amazing, wonderful booktubers and some really good friends of mine. The other hosts are Claire from Bookish Potatoes, Mare from Mare Reads, Nicole from Nicole Reads, and Katie from Katie Can't Read. These girls are absolutely wonderful, and I am so excited to be hosting this read along with them. It starts January 3rd, so tomorrow if you're watching this video when it's uploaded. But don't worry if you're a little bit behind. We are allotting 2 weeks per book, so we are going to be reading all the books in the Grishaverse trilogy, the 2 books in the Six of Crows duology, King of Scars, and when it comes out, we've timed it out perfectly, we'll be reading Rule of Wolves. We will be hosting live shows to discuss the books, as well as discussing them over on our Discord. And if you would like to join, be sure to follow our Instagram and our Twitter. All of the links to all of that is down below, as well as more info. I'm sure I'm forgetting something. It's going to be a great time. There's already so many people joined, and I cannot believe it. It's going to be fun. Other books that I am planning to read this month. First of all, this is the last week of the 12 Days of Bookmas Readathon that I am hosting with Em, so I am finishing up a couple books for that readathon. You can check out my full TBR in my TBR video, but the last 3 books that I am reading are These Violent Delights by Chloe Gong. This was one of my most anticipated releases of 2020. I'm so excited to finally get to it. Where Dreams Descend by Janella Angelis. This book is so gorgeous and it sounds really fascinating. I will hopefully be finishing this. Well, I have to finish it in a week, so I'll be reading it then. And finally, Passenger by Alexandra Bracken. I have owned this book for 2, maybe 3 years, so I'm excited to finally read it. If I end up really liking it, one of my big goals for 2021 was to finish series that I had started. I do actually own a copy of the second book in this duology, Wayfarer, so I'll also be picking that one up. I also just got notified from my library that my copy of The Duke and I by Julia Quinn has just come in. This is the first book in the Bridgerton series, which the Bridgerton Netflix show is based off of. I haven't watched the show yet, and now that I have a copy of the book, I'm planning on reading that and then watching the show, seeing how they compare. I'm really excited. I've heard so many good things, and it sounds like exactly my type of show and my type of book. Although I haven't actually read that many historical romances. I've read a lot of historical fiction, but I'm very new to the historical romance. So I'm excited to read that one, see what it's all about, see what the hype is all about. I also made it a big goal of mine for 2021 to read a lot of my backlisted books that I own. Basically, I don't want to be that person who has hundreds of books but hasn't read any of them. That's not me. That's not who I want to be. So I'm trying to make sure that I either read all the books that I own or finally get rid of them, unhaul them, give them away to someone who will actually love them and read them. To help me accomplish that goal, I don't have the books with me here because I'm at my parents' house right now, but when I do go back to my house, I will be reading Dear Justice by Nick Stone. This is the sequel to Dear Martin. I know it's probably going to be another heartbreaking book and it's probably going to hurt me, but I'm very excited to read it because I totally fell in love with Dear Martin. I also will be reading I Hope You Get This Message by Farah Nasrishi. This is another book that I got in an Al Crate box years ago, and just never got around to reading it. I have been getting a lot more into sci-fi recently, so I'm really excited to read this one. My goal is to read 2 books per week, so with these books, that's kind of what I'll be doing. If I do find myself having more time, I have a couple more backlisted owned books that I want to read. First is Bonecryer's Moon by Katherine Purdy. I've been definitely in a fantasy, like witchy mood recently for my books. So I really want to get to it, and it's been on my TBR a couple times, and I just, for some reason, that's like the one book I never get to. I also received a copy of A Curse of Roses by Diana Pungucha. I don't know why they sent it to me, but they were like, yeah, here, Katherine, you can have this book. Like, who do you think I am? But thanks, I super appreciate it. I do really want to read that one as well because it was sent to me. Finally, I want to start An Ember in the Ashes by Sabaa Tahir. Again, this is another book that I've owned for a while, and I've heard so many good things about this series, and this seems like a series that I would just completely love. So I don't know why it's taken me so long to get to it, but I'm excited to finally read it. So that is my January TBR, my first TBR of 2021. It's crazy that I do make TBRs now because until like August, I never really made TBRs. I was never really that person. But I found that it really helps to have a set list of books that you want to get to, and then if you happen to pick up other books along the way, that's totally fine. I just always felt so pressured by TBRs that like I have to finish these books, and it's like, no, this is just a way to have some structure. So if you don't know what you want to read next, there's a suggestion right here. Here's a book that's on your TBR. I'd love to hear what books you all are hoping to read in January. Let me know down below. And if you've read any of these books, let me know what you thought. I'd love to hear your opinions. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked it, be sure to give it a thumbs up and be sure to hit subscribe. It really helps me out when you do. I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. And until next time, bye!